YouTube, how's it going? The GOAT House is back with some more NFL position rankings. And today's video is for the middle linebackers. We did plenty of these rankings, plenty more to come, and then full coverage in NFL season. Hopefully you can join us for that. But middle linebacker rankings, a lot of good middle linebackers this year in the NFL, well, every year in the NFL, but a lot of outside linebackers making the switch to middle linebackers that can play. So I ranked 32 of these guys here. And there's some really good ones. There's some good ones that aren't even on this list, honestly. But 32 is the magic number here. We're going to break them down. And right before we get started, we got some new exclusive content available. Link in the description for both these. They're both separate. The stuff on the right is for Patreon. It seems to be pretty popular. A lot of you are joining those things. You can join our Fantasy League, Pick'ems League, our Discord private chat, which is very cool. So link in the description for that. I just appreciate it very much if you just check it out. So moving on to one more announcement that we get every single video. 40K is a subscriber goal. Most of you know the drill, and most of you already subscribed, so I appreciate you very much. But if you don't subscribe, really would appreciate it. Hopefully you join us for the NFL season. We got full coverage with recaps, power rankings, and all kinds of different predictions, score predictions every week updated. So hopefully you'll be there. We'll be here. Click that like button. Check out the Twitter. Let's get on to the 32 middle linebackers from worst to first. Well, there's no worst. They're all good. So 32 to 29. Here we go. Really enjoyed this one. A lot of good middle linebackers. 32 is DENZEL PERRYMAN of the Los Angeles Chargers. Needs to stay healthy and he does have a tough task, I would say. You know, the Chargers got their Leo defense, so Melvin Ingram sometimes up on the line, so they're kind of short of linebackers. So it's a tough position to play in that exact scheme. You know, he comes in at 32 for now, and he did get that contract extension, so they know that he's important to that team there. 31's ROQUAN McMillan of the Miami Dolphins, solid middle linebacker. He's going to rack up the tackles. He's going to stop the run. He's another young one that can continue to get better. 30, we see a new middle linebacker, Shaq Thompson of the Carolina Panthers. You know, was an outside linebacker. Carolina Panthers switching to more of a 3-4, so him and Luke Kuechly. I wonder if Luke Kuechly would be on this list. You know, and then Shaq Thompson now switching to middle linebacker. Going to be interesting. You know, hasn't really figured out as an outside linebacker. Not that he's been bad, but he's been solid. Maybe not. Hasn't really lived up to the hype. There was talk about him playing safety. Now he's kind of in the middle. It could help him. We'll see. It's kind of a mystery. Myles Jack's at 29. You know, I think Myles Jack should be more of an outside linebacker, listed as middle linebacker for the Jags. I thought he struggled last season quite a bit, honestly. But he's going to have to carry that linebacker unit this year for the Jags. Not too much talent elsewhere. Telvin Smith out. Guys like Leon Jacobs can step up on the outside. But Myles Jack, you know, he's capable of being better than this. But he really struggled last year, and again, I think he's more of an outside backer, but he's listed as middle linebacker for the Jags this year. The next four in the rankings, it'll be 28 up to 25. Who will they be? Number 28 is going to be Todd Davis, Denver Broncos, another one that can stop the run, pretty solid level. He's going to rack up the tackles. Now got Vic Fangio in there, so can he improve more? But he's been pretty solid. Zach Cunningham, the Houston Texans linebacker at 27. Yeah, the Texans middle linebackers got, you know, they got a tough task there too. They really got to stop the run. The defensive line really isn't super strong besides J.J. Watt, mainly getting after the quarterback. So they'll let some run-throughs through. The middle linebackers are key there. Jordan Hicks at 26, former Philadelphia Eagle, now in the Arizona Cardinals. They run a 3-4 now. He will play in the inside. 25 is Corey Littleton of the Los Angeles Rams. Kind of came out of nowhere last year. Really good special teamer. And he was pretty much a playmaker everywhere for that Rams defense. And they were able to move on. Even though they need two middle linebackers, they were able to move on Mark Barron because they like Corey Littleton so much. He can keep climbing up this list. So he is at number 25. 24 to 21. Who are they? 24 is going to be Devin Bush, the rookie out of Michigan for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just what the Steelers needed. That's why they traded up. They got him. He should be an impact right away. In coverage and the run game. 23 is Rashaan Evans of the Tennessee Titans, was a rookie last year out of Alabama. I was super high on him, and then he'll get more playing time this year. He was, towards the end of the year, he was coming up big time for them. A lot of third down stops, I noticed. He's got a lot of upside. 22 is Nigel Bradham of the Philadelphia Eagles. Some thought maybe he can play outside, but he's listed to play middle linebacker for the Eagles this year. He's had a pretty solid career so far. And then Jared Davis of the Detroit Lions at 21. You know, took a little bit to get going for him. Rookie year wasn't too solid, but he really got going last year. A lot of production in the tackles and getting after the quarterback too. So that's another young linebacker, second year with Patricia, learning this defense and getting better. He can continue to get better and rise up this list. So he's been an impressive one to watch out for too. So now we're on to the next 4. We got 20 to 17. Avery Williamson is at 20 for the Jets. Him and C.J. Mosley should be a pretty good duo. We'll see if C.J. Mosley makes the list. But Avery Williamson was pretty solid last year. I was actually surprised he played that well. I thought he was always solid, but played a little better than expected. His top 20 is real strong here for these middle linebackers. 19 is Alec Ogletree of the Giants. Was surprisingly very solid in the passing game last year in terms of coverage. Got his hands on the ball quite a few times, and then he's somewhat of a sure tackler up the middle. Carried that Giants linebacker unit at times. Joe Schobert of the Cleveland Browns at 18. Another one that's almost a sure tackler in the middle, can get after the quarterback. He's kind of one that came out of nowhere a couple years ago and can continue to get better. 17 is the Houston Texans' other middle linebackers, 2 on the list. Benardrick McKinney, I think he's the better of the 2. Cunningham's on his way up, though. He's pretty young. McKinney is a sure tackler up the middle. Not going to be super flashy, but he's going to stop. He's a one-on-one tackler. He's going to make the stop. And like I said, the D-line kind of lets some runs through, so McKinney is there, a very important role for them. So he comes in at 17. We're on to the top 16 middle linebackers in football. Now it's a very good group. Number 16 is going to be Blake Martinez for the Packers. Very solid up the middle. Racks up an insane amount of tackles every year for the Packers. And he kind of surprisingly, he got after the quarterback on some blitz packages last year. So interesting to see how they use him this year again. But has been very solid, kind of a surprise guy. Wasn't supposed to be anything crazy out of Stanford, but been very solid. Danny Trevathan at 15 for the Bears. Another solid middle linebacker. He's going to be a free agent after this year. Had another really good year stopping the run there for the Bears. So he's at 15. 14 is Devin White, a rookie from LSU, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was super high on him, and I think there's a reason for that. He's going to the thing that people don't talk about enough is him covering people downfield. That's what he does well, but he also is pretty instinctive, could sniff out plays in the backfield, make a big hit. I think he'll get some forced fumbles and some interceptions there. If they want to use him in blitz packages, he can help there as well. So he, as a rookie, again, I'm predicting this upcoming season. This isn't based off what they've done in the past. It's just like all the rankings I do for the upcoming season. He's at 14. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, now San Francisco 49er, Kwan Alexander, at 13, as long as he stays healthy. He's been a very solid middle linebacker. Not one that's been super flashy. He's going to do his job. He's going to stop the run. Nothing's getting by him, and can cover when needed to as well. He's at 13. 12 to 9. Number 12 is going to be a Tennessee Titan, Wesley Woodyard. Been pretty key for them over the last few years. Really good in clutch situations. I think 2 years ago he had so many third down stops that it was ridiculous. Pretty darn good season last year, too. Really got after the quarterback when they needed him to. They brought a lot of pressure from their inside linebackers last year. A lot of pressure from all of them. So Woodyard, the veteran of that group, very solid, comes in at number 12. Number 11 is Patrick Onwuasor. From the Baltimore Ravens, I think a big-time sleeper. He was excellent last year. Another middle linebacker that really is sideline to sideline, too, and he can get after the quarterback. You send him in on blitz packages, gets after the quarterback. People think they lost C.J. Mosley. They're in trouble. No, they got this big-time player. They also got a couple other guys, young guys that'll step up as well. A new middle linebacker here, Levante David of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, probably would be higher on this list, but can I trust him to stay healthy? He's already got a knee issue, supposed to be good by week 1. Something like a scope on his meniscus or something, and it's kind of hard to see him being 100% week 1. Well, he's supposed to be, though, and he made the switch from outside to middle. I thought he was a top tier, maybe an elite outside linebacker in a 4-3. Now they've kind of announced, I think they'll be more of a hybrid, but they're more towards that 3-4. They're going to use him in blitz packages, supposedly in that Bulls defense. So I want to put him higher because he's a top-tier talent, but it's a switch in position, and can he stay healthy? He comes in at number 10. Still, again, really good talent there. Another Tennessee Titan, the only team with 3 linebackers on this list. Jayon Brown of the Tennessee Titans comes in at number 9. Like I said, they really used the middle linebackers for the pressure. Jayon Brown was big time in pass rush or blitz packages situations. They're getting after the quarterback, can cover, can tackle. He was all over the place last year. He's young. He's going to continue to get better. He's a key part of that defense. He was one of my sleepers in the draft from UCLA a couple years ago. UCLA linebackers seem to work out. But he's been super impressive because he comes in at number 9, third Tennessee Titan on this list. They know how to get the middle linebackers, I guess, over there. Now we're on to the top 8. Number 8 is going to be ROQUAN Smith, only in his second year of the Chicago Bears. Really good season last year. Really could do it all. I was kind of surprised the amount of pressure he got. I knew he can get some, but right away I got quite a bit of it and was pretty darn good in coverage too, which is just surprising he was able to do that right away. Already a top 8 linebacker in his second year. Eric Kendricks at 7, kind of been known as one of the better middle linebackers in football over the years of the Minnesota Vikings. Sure tackler, another guy that can go sideline to sideline and very good in the pass game as well. Potentially getting a few interceptions every year. Number 6 is Deion Jones of the Atlanta Falcons. Had some injuries last year, but very athletic sideline to sideline linebacker. Can stop the run, can really cover downfield too. So I expect him back up here at number 6. Tremaine Edmonds, another second-year guy of the Bills. I was super high on Tremaine Edmonds last year for the draft, and even though I was super high, I knew he was more of a prospect guy, and was surprised how great he played his rookie season. You could argue that ROQUAN Smith maybe had a little better rookie year. You can argue either way, but Edmonds is that potential guy, that huge ceiling, that super high ceiling guy. I think he even takes another huge step up this year. He can do it all there, so I'm banking on him to continue to get better. He can make his way to the top middle linebacker in football very soon. Really, any of these guys on this page can. They're all still pretty young. So he's at number 5. And then the top 4, the big top 4 here for the middle linebackers, a great group. Really good guys on each page here. Number 4 is going to be Jaylon Smith, who almost gives some outside looks at times too. And I talk about the guys that are sideline to sideline. This is the ultimate range guy. He can drop back deep in coverage too. He can get after the quarterback when you need him to. He can do it all. It's just about staying healthy, it's been great that he's done. So he's been pretty darn impressive, the best linebacker I ever scouted. So unfortunately, it was hurt when it came to draft time. So hopefully, he continues to stay healthy, keep climbing. The top 3 is the same as it really has been for me for the last few years. C.J. Mosley is a lock at 3. He's been an elite linebacker, just not as elite as the top 2. Really underrated in the pass game. He'll come away with some interceptions, can cover, but we know he's a sure tackler. And then 1 and 2, very close, but the last couple of years I felt Wagner was number 1, but Kuechly, super instinctive. I didn't think he had his best year last year. It's still a darn good season, but it wasn't a Luke Kuechly year. I've seen a little more missed tackles than I usually see, but he'll be just fine. Definitely a better year this year. Just how he can line up and just figure out a play just like that, which Bobby Wagner can do as well. But Kuechly comes in at number 2 of the Carolina Panthers, and Bobby Wagner, Seattle Seahawks, number 1. Finally getting the recognition. He's always got recognition, but not really as number 1 middle linebacker. People just automatically gave it to Kuechly, didn't think it was any contest, and I kind of been saying for a couple years now that Wagner was the best. Super instinctive, can cover. He's a playmaking middle linebacker everywhere on the field. Notice that he wins games. A middle linebacker that just wins games. Ridiculous. Crazy impact. One of my biggest draft hits of all time there too. Out of Utah State. So super impressive guy. Finally getting the respect. But these really the top 2 separate themselves, even though I would say Mosley's not too far off. And Jaylon Smith's coming. And those 2 young guns, Tremaine Edmonds and ROQUAN Smith, those guys are coming too. And then from that same draft class was actually Rashaan Evans, who was the third. That was a very, very good linebacker class. Edmonds, ROQUAN Smith, and Rashaan Evans there. So those 3 guys, the reason Evans isn't super high is because Titans got so many darn middle linebackers. They use them all though. Evans and Brown actually have potential to play outside too. So that's the great thing. Woodyard's always going to be there in the middle, and all of them can get after the quarterback. So Titans actually get 3 guys on this list. Pretty impressive there. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. On this video, we got more position rankings to come, plenty more predictions for the upcoming season on the way, and plenty of coverage in season. Hopefully you can join us for that. Check out our exclusive content on YouTube and on Patreon, link in the description. Much appreciate you if you check those out. Thanks everyone for watching. That's going to do it for this one. Goodbye.